as far as PvP, if you're going to be doing no fairy PvP, just like Top League, you'll be using the build we just showed you. And if you're doing fairy allowed PvP, this is the build you'll be looking at. The only main change is the fourth skill, the straight arrow, shattering arrow from marksman for the no fairy allowed PvP, and then strength of nature, our fourth skill from wind chaser for our fairy allowed PvP. The reason being, fairies are the main sources of stuns, and most fairy allowed game modes like Thunder War, Crystal Battlefield, things like this, Guild War, that's generally where you'll be having stuns happen, as well as need to reposition yourself quickly. So this is going to not invisible, but harder to see. It's like a white outline. Get rid of stuns and everything, heal us, and make us faster. All things we want in these fairy allowed game modes. It also changes our second skill for the big sword, the big arrow that goes and crashes down on an area. Now, what we're going to be doing is very similar to what we showed you before. 1, 2, fairy, 3, fairy, 4, swap, 1, 2, throw our fairies, boom, and then we have time, second skill, and then if anyone tries to stun us, boom, and we're out and about, ready to do our stay away from me strategy. Now, the only class that you're really going to have trouble with is marksman, and that's because we are a mid-range specialist. We don't want to be in melee of somebody. Let's use the dummy for example. We don't want to be in melee of somebody, but we do want to be at mid-range right here, whereas marksman hits you from over here. So where this class wind chaser is all about you can't catch me, you can't catch me, the range of these skills aren't as far as marksman, and marksman will be able to take over the battle by just hitting us at a range we cannot respond to. So that's it for both sides, for PvP and PvE for both Rangers subclasses. Let me know what you guys think down below, and until next time, guys. What's going on, guys? Kai here. Today we're talking about Swordsman. Today we're looking at Gladiator and Berserker. So starting off with Gladiator in PvE, I am going to be using this current skill setup. It can be in pretty much any order. If you want to do it in cast order and do it on auto, you want to be using, where's it at, Soul Blast first, because it'll reduce their defense, and then the rest just do damage. The fourth skill can reduce attack, but generally in PvE that isn't a huge deal. If you are worried about fighting against stronger PvE enemies, you can make that your second skill and then work on the next two. But you do want to be casting crosscut and combo hit as much as possible. They have the lowest cooldown, and that's what primarily your damage is going to be coming from. Now, as far as our fairies, we are looking at Earth, and the one that there's currently only 5. The one that's on the bench is Primrose. She's primarily a PvP one. As far as their wills, for PvE, you're looking at Fierce Attack and Slaughter. As you see, Fierce Attack, Slaughter, Slaughter. And as far as the generations, you would want full 4-piece super strength. If you don't have full 4 of them, 4 full sets of them, any amount of sets that you're missing, Soul Hunt is a good, decent secondary one. With the higher level Earth Echo and your abilities, you're going to be seeing them a bunch, so your extra damage is going to do well. As far as what our combo is going to look like, As far as our combo, let's go to dummy practice. Alright, so we're going to be starting in change this priest, equip, bam, bam, bam. Then summon, buff, skill, fairy, swap, and then go off into our combo. Oh, sorry, I want to do the correct sequence for you guys. So once the cooldowns are up, I'm just going to attack this area. If I do it with the dummy, it'll pause me. So knock up, 1, 2, woof. And then it's about time to use that again. And then once it's back up, boom, 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 boom. And that's a full rotation. Then you would be swapping back to book, using your skills again. Swap back. And the Moonslash is very, very good for bringing them together. And then we wait for the next rotation. Boom, 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 boom. That is the full PvE rotation. Now let's check out PvP. Now as far as PvP, there's going to be a lot of changes actually. So we changed our entire Echo to Water. I'll go over those in a moment. We changed 2 of our abilities. Instead of focusing on quick damage for PvE, we are now focused on healing and AoE damage to increase our healing, as well as our entire play style is going to change. So jumping over to the fairies, we are doing full water echo, and these will change depending on the play mode that you're doing. If you're doing one where fairy skills are allowed, even though lavender was nerfed, you will be using lavender. All of this is on my Discord, as well as the cheat sheets I've posted before. I've done a full 1.35 update to all of them, so all of them are up to date. If you look at them in the future, they will be updated when new fairies and new strategies are added in the future. Now, the most important one right here is going to be Blue Rose for her damage bonus and damage resistance. Also, the entire water echo. Let me see. Where's water? Which one's missing? Oh, sorry. I missed her. So bam is what it should look like. Sorry. Also, Ikoria is also very, very important. I took her off because I was doing Water Elemental Realm, and in Elemental Realm you get bonuses based on their star level. So, and as she's my lowest, she was off for Elemental Realm. But right there, she is going to give you some super armor, which is going to be important. Not most of the time, so you get super armor from Gladiator, as we'll see right here. Gladiator passive, after gain immunity against knockback and knock in the air when releasing Gladiator skill. When we have Priest, we will see right here, gain shield and a super armor effect for 5 seconds every 20 seconds. So she's primarily you're going to want to make sure she's on your priest skill setup, because when you swap to priest, you need to actually cast the spell, and a lot of good players with CC abilities will be CCing you out of your buff skills or even your big powerful skills. So Ikoria is going to give you the super armor so you can cast your buff, which is then going to give you super armor for the next 5 seconds regardless. So it's a means to an end here, allowing you to use all of your priest skills, put them out there, swap back to Gladiator, and then your Gladiator skills have super armor. Well, knock up and knock back. So let's check it out. As far as our wills, we are going full God bless and rigidity. Well, yeah, God bless and rigidity. I didn't put a hers on because I was focusing on showing you the 4, but these would be on her, God bless. And then for generations, we are looking at full 4 set God bless heal. That is primarily because this is going to increase our healing and reduce their life steal. It says the life steal effect, but it's HP steal rate, which is different. If you check out my stats video, you'll know the difference. But it'll also increase our healing, which we'll get that from 3 of our 4 abilities on Gladiator, as well as 1 of our abilities over here on Priest. So now let's check out the rotation. Go over here to Leisure Dummy Go. Go to Priest. And then we're going to do a mimic one where we're pretending that this middle area right here is the target. So buff, attack, skill, attack, skill, swap, and then this. So this is how you're going to initiate the combat. You want to press and hold, decide where you want to go, initiate, and the moment you initiate, before the animation's done, you want to hit that second ability. And then when they go in the air, this is where watching how pixels work, watching how the actual thing goes. You're not doing a 1, 2, 3, 4 like a lot of other combos. You're watching the body of your opponent. So 1, 2, and then once their body comes back and hits the ground again, pull them in, and then immediately go into the slash. And that is your basic Gladiator initiation combo. One that I like to do a lot is dash in, pull them in, knock them up, and then slash. Well, it's not off cooldown, but the 4th skill right here. And then if they try dashing away, you can use this as a gap closer afterwards. That's one of my favorite ones. Everyone expects you to start the fight with a uppercut. I like to dash in, and then now I like to put myself in between a couple of opponents, pull them in, slash up, blast, and then dash after if they try running away. And I really like that combo. There is a third one that you can work on, which involves holding on to the 4th skill and then using that, using the 1st and 4th as some ranged damage, waiting for it to come up. So dash, pull in, uppercut, they run away, keep up with them, and if they get another dash, or if they are a wind chaser and use their, they flip and jump away, you can use the 4th skill as a ranged. If you've seen Bleach, Getsugatengo, boom. Use that as a finisher. Now let's jump over to Berserker. Alright, so now Berserker, the class that gets the most hate. We are using Earth. There is some conversation going on right now about fire in the future. It still needs some more testing. With the new addition of Hydra Flames, giving you bonus for defense, this will not be good enough in my opinion for game modes that you cannot use fire, but that is an option laid bare to you. So looking over at Earth, for PvE, this is the skill setup we are currently using. There is only one that's kind of questionable. If we look right here, we're using very similar to what we just saw with Gladiator. We're using the Soul Blast, reduce defense, crosscut, reduce attack, combo hit, low cooldown, and uppercut just seems to be the best damage dealer that we have left. The other option that you do have is Flash Slash, which it's 2 skills. It is technically more damage, but it has a way longer cooldown. Flash is primarily a PvP skill. We'll talk about that once we get over into there. But if you're in game modes where PvE, they're losing a bunch of HP, such as Fire Elemental Realm and a few others, Flash Slash can be a good in place of Uppercut, just because of how the passive works. If they're under half HP, you get more rage faster. Now that's going to play into a big thing with Berserker. You want to be in Berserker as long as possible, because when you swap classes, you lose all of your rage that you've built up, which really puts you on the back foot. So that's why Priest is a great combo with it. You can use the Priest skills, which have pretty long cooldowns, and then immediately swap over and then go off like that. Let's change that one skill to be more PvE focused right there. And as far as our fairies, it's going to look very, very close to what we were looking at previously. Let's see what's missing. Nothing's missing. So then when we look at the wills, we are doing fierce attack, slaughter, slaughter. If you're in a game mode where you cannot, they don't lose HP, then you can use Fighting Will and then decide what you want to do with the generations after that. As far as the generations, Break Free is going to do the most for you. You're going to have that crit buff from Priest, and then you're going to go in on them. Now, if you don't have the crit and you're not critting, the two options are you can either do Super Strength, go off of your high base HP, because you get a lot of HP from your class advancements, or like I said, for the ones where they aren't losing HP, you can go into Fighting Will Strike, which will give you more cooldown. These are all of your options in front of you. Then we go over to Leisure, Dummy Practice, and let's show you the basic combos. Swap over here. So, boom, boom, skill, fairy, skill, fairy, skill, swap, 1, 2, boom. And then it's almost time for that skill. And then at this point, if the enemy has been losing HP, you would be in your Berserker state, ready to go off again. Now let's go over PvP. Now for PvP, we honestly didn't do very many changes. All we did was change 2 of our abilities, and we're ready for PvP. That's a nice thing about Berserker. The difference between PvP and PvE is very, very minute. We're still using the same fairies in the same order, with the same wills and generations, with the same reasoning that we talked about before. Now the big thing is going to be, once we come over here to the skills, we are using Flash, and the thing with Flash is if it does moderate damage, but if it gets a kill on a player, it resets, giving you another skill back immediately. If it kills PvE, it only gives you half the cooldown back, which is why we aren't using it in PvE. Flash Slash is a very interesting skill. If we check it out, you have, what do they call it? Flash Slash and Flash Slash Link. Flash Slash being the first dash, and then you can immediately use another dash, which is Flash Slash Link. And if we take a look at the damage numbers, it's about 30 to 40% more damage looking at Flash Slash Link. Both of them are dashes. And let's check it out. Come over here. Leisure, Dummy, go. And there's going to be a couple of combos that we're going to be looking at. So, same starter. Boom. And then swap. And this is going to look kind of similar to the Gladiator combo. but there's going to be some important things to keep note of. Uppercut, knockup, and then flash. And then if you hit the opponent, then it gives you flash slash link. So you dash, dash back. If they're low enough, flash, get the kill, and then ready to do the same thing over again. Now, another combo. Let's assume that we do the whole priest thing, and then we don't have to look at the priest. Now, what you can also do is use flash slash as your gap closer, then the same knockup, then they're obviously going to try running away, using uppercut as the gap closer, fairies as your damage, and then once they get low, snipe the kill with flash. This is also very, very good in things like Crystal Battlefield, where people are doing a bunch of skills, everyone's throwing them out, everyone's low on skills because they're just throwing them out. If you can snipe a kill with flash, you can just keep using flash. Flash, 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 flash. Now, just to show you on the dummy how boom, boom, that looks really, really cool. It looks like a flash step kind of thing, right? You dash through, and then it shows it's on cooldown, and the moment it hits the enemy, it shows you can click it again. You click it again, and you dash right back. It is actually a really high amount of damage, as you see right there, which I'm pretty sure this was. Yeah, that was the first one right there, the very first nick that's super low. That is flash, and then up at the top is flash slash link, doing a butt ton of damage because of our bonuses at that time. So that is it for Gladiator and Berserker, just to show you real quick. So as I said over here, everything that was in the videos is on my cheat sheets right here. You have everything I talked about with the bonuses for being here, the classes I suggest, the bonuses for the Echo, including treasures, crystals, everything you can need to know is there for every class. And as you see, updated, including Almond Blossom and Hydra Flames. Every class, every subclass has been updated.